What's up guys, welcome to my channel. Now that game week 8 is over, a week full of red cards, it's time for game week 9 predictions. In game week 8 I got 6 points, taking me to a total of 48 points. I'm currently watching Madrid versus Dortmund right now and they're up 2-0, so it's a good day today. Back to the Prem though. First game of the game week is Leicester versus Forest. So Leicester managed to get a win after being 2 goals down to Southampton. To be honest, I think they should have scored more. There was a lot of chances. I think they hit the crossbar twice. I think Fatawu was one of them. I don't know why Fatawu doesn't start. I think he should be like one of the first names on the team sheet. And Buenanote as well. He got himself another goal. I think he reminds me of Enciso from Brighton. I'm pretty sure Buenanote is from Brighton. Yeah, Buenanote is loaned to Leicester right now, so he's Brighton's player. And then we have Forest, who managed to beat Crystal 1-0. I think it should have been more. They were way the better team by like a mile. Elliot Anderson, I knew he was good, I just didn't know he could dribble like that. And then Chris Wood got himself another goal. And I think this is going to be a win for Forest here. I just don't think Leicester have enough. They do have some talented young players, but it won't be enough. Forest is just very defensive and they will score on you at least once. I think it's going to be a 2-1 win to Forest. The second game is going to be City versus Southampton. City, as I said last week, I predicted it, they struggled against Wolves. We only won because of a last minute winner from Stones again. Our defense has been leaky. We have been terrible. We can't defend. I don't know what happened, but the defense did do good in providing goals, which came from Guardiola and Stones. Guardiola is easily becoming one of my favorite players at City. He does have that clutch gene. He's really good at attacking, but he needs to work a little bit more on his defense on that left side. I know as a center back he's really good, but on the left side he might need a little bit more work. And then Southampton, like I mentioned the last game I just talked about, they lost. They did what Everton did. They did what Spurs did, going up 2 and then conceding 3. And I think I can confidently say that Southampton is going to be the one of the teams to relegate. They do have a couple good players, Dibbling one of them. I don't know why, but he reminds me of Grealish. The way he moves, the way he dribbles. Back when he was at Villa, not now. It might be his socks as well. I don't know. They also have Fernandez, that Portuguese guy. They have Sugawara, the Japanese player. They have a couple players, but it's just not enough to stay in the Prem. I think this should be an easy game for City. Finally, an easy game for City. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win for City. Next up, we have Brentford versus Ipswich. Brentford, who went against United last week. I thought they were going to win, but they didn't in the end. And then there's Ipswich, who lost to Everton at home. That's a game you should be winning, I believe. Everton is one of those teams in around their level, and it's at home. You should be beating them, and they lost 2-0. And Ipswich are still looking for their first win, and I don't think it's going to come through here. I think Brentford at home is going to be winning this comfortably. I think I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Brentford. Next up, we have Brighton versus Wolves. Brighton, who beat Newcastle 1-0. Herzler has managed to make Welbeck into a goal machine. Welbeck is looking like his prime days, I guess. And then there's Wolves, who went against City. To be honest, they should have gotten a point. They should have gotten a draw, but we managed to get it at the end. Wolves, another unlucky game. They have been really unlucky. I feel like they shouldn't be at the bottom of the league, but that's where they're at right now. And I don't think this is a game where they can get points. I think Brighton have this in the bag. I think I'm going to go with a 3-1 win to Brighton. Next up, we have Aston Villa versus Bournemouth. Villa, who went against Fulham last week. Another tough game. I think Fulham really brought a game to them. And then we have Bournemouth, my favorite team right now, or my second favorite team right now, managing to take all points away from Arsenal. Even before the red card happened, they were the better team. I think it was a deserved win for Bournemouth. I do have to say that Semenyo had an awful game. He picked the worst game to have a bad game. But the other players in the team came in clutch and they managed to win 2-0. But I don't think they can go to Villa and get a win there. I think they will give them a tough one. but I think Villa wins in the end. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to Villa. Next up, we have Everton versus Fulham. Everton beating Ipswich, which they did with 2 beautiful goals, one from Ndai, who has been proving me wrong. I said at the beginning of the year that he's going to be a flop, basically, but he's becoming one of their best players. And then we have Fulham, who had another good game. Fulham is really giving these top teams trouble. They did it to City, they did it to United the first game, but they don't manage to win. I feel like that needs to change a little bit if they want to be seen as a threat. But I have to talk about Jimenez. Another goal from Jimenez. I don't know what has possessed this guy, but he looks like his old self back when he was in Wolves, scoring goals like he is now. I think Jimenez's form is really going to help them against Everton, and I think they're going to win 2-1. Next up, we have Crystal versus Spurs. Crystal with another stinky game. Again, managing not to score 1 goal. I have to say, I really thought Eze was the better player of him and Olise, but it looks like Olise was the guy. So I guess I was wrong there. And then Spurs smacking West Ham. I thought it was going to be a close game, but West Ham just fell apart. Spurs, I have to talk about Solanke, had a really good game. Son managing to get himself a goal, and then Kulusevski, who in his new role, the 10 role, has been incredible. Even like benching Maddison, he's been doing Maddison's job or his like position better than he has. And as soon as Maddison got out, that's when they scored all their goals. So I don't know, maybe Maddison isn't a starter anymore. Maybe this balance with Sarr is better for the team to flow. I don't know. Either way, with Maddison or without Maddison, I think Spurs still wins here. I think they're gonna easily win here, 2-0 to Spurs. Next up is Chelsea versus Newcastle. Chelsea, who went to war with Liverpool. Caicedo was their MVP. I think he was crucial. So was Lavia, but he got subbed out. So and Caicedo had majority of the game to perform. And then again, Lavia, I think he should be starting over Enzo. I think Enzo doesn't have a place in this team, or at least in the starting 11. I think Lavia, Caicedo, and then Palmer should be their midfield. Also, Colwill, I think that should have been a red card. If Saliba was a red card, his should be a red card. And then we have Newcastle with another boring game. Awful. Just they can't finish. And I think it's going to be a problem here too. I think Chelsea win here 3-1. Next up, we have West Ham versus United, the battle of the mid. West Ham really sold me a dream last week. I thought they were going to come scoring now, but no, it was another embarrassing performance, especially that second half. If Wan-Bissaka, your right back, is your best player, then you have a problem. And I have to say, Kudos is an idiot. What was the point of getting that red card? Not only did he start kicking Van de Ven when he was on the ground, he pushed his face and then he pushed Sarr. That was the most stupidest thing I've ever seen. And then there's United, who surprised me by beating Brentford. It was better performance from United from what they usually do. Rashford and Garnacho, or especially Rashford, looked like he was actually moving. So, good for them. And then Casemiro and Eriksen were sort of like switching positions where Casemiro will go up and Eriksen will stay back. And it was working. I was surprised at that. And I think if they, experiment more, I think they can maybe get some more points. But I don't think they can win this game. It is at West Ham's home. I'm going to predict a 1-1 draw. I could be just praying that United don't get points, but I'm going to go with it. 1-1 draw. Then we have Arsenal versus Liverpool. Should be the best game. A game I can't wait for. Arsenal, who went against Bournemouth last week, lost. You love to see it. It's great. Them losing points is everything to me. But I do have to say that red card shouldn't have been a red card, or I think it was a little too harsh. But Trossard, another stupid decision, the sleepless rat, making a back pass over to Saliba, handsome Squidward, and then Squidward had to do that foul against Evan-Nilsson. Overall, I think it was just a bad game from Arsenal. That midfield didn't make sense. The subs didn't make sense. It was just a bad game for Arteta and the players. And then there was Liverpool, who went against Chelsea. Had a great game. One player that needs his props from this game is Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones was everywhere, both boxes, he was everywhere. And somehow he was also all over Palmer. He neutralized their best player and scored a goal as well. And he was just great. I didn't know he was that good or had that in his game. And finally, these two teams, Liverpool and Chelsea, gave us a good game. It wasn't a sleeper this time, so thank you. But for this game, Arsenal versus Liverpool, I think Arsenal will not get all their points here. They are missing Saliba. They are missing Odegaard. Saka should be back. Timber should be back, I believe. But it is at Arsenal's home, so I don't think Liverpool will win here. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. And yeah, that's my Game Week 9 predictions. Tell me what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and thank you for watching.